Welcome. You are now tuned in to Uncut Sports. No feelings. We're going to talk about the walking, talking contradiction that is Justin. I don't know what I want to do. I think I know what I want to do. I don't want to play here, but I'm not going to tell you guys I don't want to play here. Let's talk about it. Now, dig it. According to Justin Fields, he's claiming he wants to stay with the Bears. This is what he's saying. This is what he's claiming. And every day, see, he's gone long periods of time without really speaking on this. At the same time, claiming that, oh my goodness, I'm tired of hearing these rumors, this and that. He unfollows what appears to be him unfollowing the Bears. And then he wants to double back on that. Oh, I'm a fan of football and I'm not blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, none of these reasons that you're putting out there, Justin, is fixing the problems on the field. The sloppy footwork, not being able to throw receivers open, not having trouble reading zone defenses, especially if the opposing defense takes away your number one option. You become virtually lost out there. You start thinking, oh my goodness, well, I guess I'll run. And you seem to love running. And I'm just going by what you were saying on many interviews, many quotes directly from you. Even on the podcast with the St. Brown brothers, Amon Ra, and your teammate. I can't say the brother's name. I'm not going to disrespect his name like that. But you even said there you could have had more rushing yards than Lamar Jackson this year if you wouldn't have missed those two games. And even though you basically answered, it was a question that was answered, and you answered it, you kind of lit up when talking about how many rushing yards you could have possibly gained. Now, it's understandable if your title is actually running back. I mean, even receivers, they light up when you talk about how many receiving yards they have. They take pride in that. But you seem to take a lot of pride in how many rushing yards you accumulate. The problem is, Justin, you are supposed to be a quarterback. Can we get 4,000 passing yards out of you? I mean, you don't care about that? And this is why I have the stance that I have. Like, you know what? It's time to move on. This dude is not him. He's not him. He's more like them instead of him. Let's read some of this. This is from an article from ESPN. According to Justin, he doesn't want to go, but hey, let's just check this out. Chicago quarterback Justin Fields said his decision to unfollow the Chicago Bears on Instagram is nothing more than him needing a break from social media this offseason. And you know what's ironic about what he said there? His generation, when it comes to professional athletes, they don't unfollow the team they currently play for no reason at all. There's always a subliminal message behind that. Oftentimes it's when they're in negotiations for a new contract. We've seen that with Jalen Brown, not Jalen Brown, Jalen Johnson negotiating a contract. You don't like how the negotiations are going. A lot of these guys end up unfollowing the team that they're currently playing for. You have guys that request or demand a trade from the current team that they're playing for. And what they'll do is they'll go on Instagram, Twitter, and these other social media outlets, and they'll completely scrub all traces of the current team that they play for off of social media. So yeah, of course, people gonna speculate. Like, yeah, you didn't just wake up one morning and decide, you know what, let me just scrub the Bears off my social medias, off my Instagram. But then you developed the jelly back, because then you was like, well, let me keep it on my Twitter. Let me keep the image of me wearing a Bears jersey up, so it's like you 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You 1 foot in being a quarterback, you 1 foot out because you like rushing yards. That's important to you. Nah, we can't win like that. Appearing on the St. Brown Brothers podcast, Fields cleared the air about not following the Bears and the NFL's account after it was discovered Monday that the quarterback no longer followed his team on Instagram. Why do people take social media so serious? Fields says. I still mess with the Bears, this and that. I'm just trying to take a little break. I unfollowed the Bears and the NFL. I'm not just trying to have football on my timeline. So you about to what? You about to be like Zion? You about to go get you one of these OnlyFans pay-to-play gals? The shaking and twerking their ass on social media. You gonna start chasing tail to get your mind off football? To get your mind off of sucking at being a pocket passer? Because you do, man. You suck as a pocket passer, man. Straight up and down. It's something that I don't want to see on my timeline. I'm about to go on vacation. I don't want to see no football. And guess what? The social media discourse is either keep Fields, we want Fields. It's either draft Caleb Williams. I'm tired of hearing the talk. I just want it to be over. Not too long ago, you said you didn't hear none of the talk. You said you didn't have time to listen to that stuff. You just trying to get better and do what you got to do. So now we coming to find out that was all complete BS. Nothing but lies, which is what this part of the football season is anyway. This part of the football season is lying season, and it seems that you're picking up that habit very well, Justin. That habit of lying. Before you didn't hear it all, but now you do hear it all, so you got to take a break? Come on, man. What part of the game are we playing here? The Bears own the number 1 pick in April's draft and face a monumental decision at quarterback. Fields, 24, just completed his 3rd season in Chicago and has been the subject of intense debate for months as to whether the Bears should stick with the quarterback and build around him or use the draft's top pick on a rookie quarterback, with USC's Williams, the consensus top prospect, at the center of the discussion. It's a unique spot in the draft to have the 1st overall pick, the 9th overall pick. New offensive coordinator Shane Waldron said, just from an organization in general, it's not going to happen too often. Yeah, because this is like the last year was the first time the organization ever had the first overall pick in the draft. An organization has been in existence for over 100 years. It's the founding franchise of the NFL. So to take the number one pick for granted, like, oh, it's nothing. We could be waiting another 100 years. So I seriously doubt, in my personal opinion, I don't think Ryan Poles is gonna skip past the possibility of drafting the quarterback at number one. And if he does, it needs to be Caleb Williams, because if we went through all of this back and forth, maybe this, maybe that, keeping quiet, closing the ranks, circle the wagons, don't want the public to know, don't want the media to know. We're going through all this rigmarole dancing around, only for you to draft Drake May or anybody that's not Caleb Williams. This would be the dumbest move ever. And if Ryan Post really want to get fired, go ahead and try drafting Michael Penix Jr. number one. Go ahead and try it. I dare you. I dare you. You better have mortal enemies within Hallis Hall ownership to do something like that. I mean, that is like saying I quit without saying I quit. Because that would be undoubtedly the dumbest that I have ever seen in my lifetime. And I've seen a lot coming from this organization. I'll tell you that much. But I tell you what, if you use that draft pick, it better be Caleb Williams. Because if it's not, I'm going to assume that you're ready to quit. Ryan Poles. I'm talking to you right now. Poley. Anyway, I digress for a minute. Had to rant a little bit. Y'all gonna have to excuse me because this is very annoying. It has become extremely annoying at this point because of the history of the Bears always making the wrong decision. They are masters of getting it wrong. If the wrong choice needs to be made, hire the Chicago Bears organization to make that decision for you, because I guarantee you they'll get it right being wrong. Anyway, Ryan Poles, I would challenge you to a fight in the octagon if you don't draft Caleb Williams. Let the proceeds go to charity. Me and you in the octagon. Anyway, I did think Justin got better, Poles said in January. I think he can lead this team. Every time I read that quote, it's like somebody putting on a pair of cleats and moonwalking on my nerves. But at the same time, there's a unique situation where I have to look, and our staff has to look at everything. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Don't play around, man. And another thing, I want to address all the people out there that want to talk about Marvin Harrison Jr. And I guarantee you, his name being Marvin Harrison is a big portion of why everybody thinks he's the next can't miss, the next Hall of Famer, the next combination of Randy Moss, Chris Carter, Megatron in Detroit, Calvin Johnson for the Texans just rolled up into one. You name him. Terrell Owens, he's a combination of all these guys. He's a cyborg. Why don't y'all just nickname him that? Cyborg. He can't miss. Talking about if the Bears draft anybody but Marvin Harrison Jr. First of all, if his name was Ralph Nobody, you wouldn't even care if the Bears drafted him or not. So I don't want to hear that bullshit y'all talking. And it is a lot of bullshit. And this is why the Bears always remain mediocre. Mediocre. In the middle. They might as well change their name to the Equator. Because they're always in the middle. In the globe world aspect. For those that don't understand. The Equator Bears. The Chicago Equators. Why not? Because it seems like Bears fans love being in the middle. You guys lust after being in the middle. Mediocrity is the cocaine to your nostrils. You guys are pathetic. And when Justin gets traded, as I'm predicting he will be, whatever team he goes to, y'all need to take y'all punk ass out and buy those jerseys, the memorabilia, and become fans of that team. Because you're no longer needed in Bears Nation. You can no longer bear down. We're kicking you off the island, the nation. Go be Justin Jackoffs somewhere else. Anyway. Yeah, of course. Of course I want to stay, Field said. I can't see myself playing in another place, but if it was up to me, I would want to stay in Chicago. I love the city. The city is lit. The fans there are great. And the people. It's business. I ain't got no control over it. Whatever happens, happens. I think the biggest thing with all this going on right now, I just want it to be over. Like, just let me know if I'm getting traded. Let me know if I'm staying, this and that. Shut the fuck up. I want to hear all that whining and this shit. You had the reins in your hand. You complain directly or indirectly. Hey, I don't have anybody to throw to. So what did Ryan Poles do? He went out and got you DJ Moore. Now you have somebody to throw to. Cole Kmet has been developing over the last few years. So now there's another target for you to throw to. But if a team decides to play zone against you and they take DJ Moore away from you, and let's say Cole Kmet is covered, but that's assuming you even go to your second read, because it seems like if DJ Moore is covered, you just start running. Maybe that's why the Packers cornerbacks are saying, well, we could just play zone and take away his first read. Then we got him. He'll throw us the ball. That is a damn shame. One of your main rivals in your division blatantly says, hey, just take away his first read and we got him. So if DJ Moore is injured and can't play one game, you just going to run the whole game? Throw it to Cole Kmet every now and then? Cole Kmet, 6 catches, 85 yards. And just ignore all the other receivers. Even if they drop the ball, you saw what Patrick Mahomes did. His receivers was dropping the ball all year long. What happened in the Super Bowl? He still threw them the ball. It's called going through your progressions. 1, 2, 3, 4. Faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like a computer. Got to be able to just zip through them. Throw them open. You know where the zone holes are. Throw it to the holes. But I digress. What do I know? I don't play in the NFL, but my eyes work very well. And I know what I'm looking at when I watch you play. I'm going to leave a link to this article in the description box. We going to slide to this right here. See, I want y'all to keep this in mind. His quote talking about, of course I want to stay. That was a day ago. Wait a minute. There we go. Get this. Well. Let's look at what Yahoo Sports got to say. I'm going to leave a link to this in the description box below, too. See what Mike Greenberg has to say. NFL analyst Mike Greenberg believes Justin Fields is well aware he won't return to the Bears. Originally appeared on NBC Sports Chicago. Now, this, you can say that this is a hunch. This could be very well Mike Greenberg's personal opinion. He might just have just a pie in the sky type, a hunch to himself. I mean, he's not putting no names on it. Like nobody, he's not saying a source told him or anything like that. This could be his personal opinion. Or it could be the way Justin is carrying himself and somebody noticed that and said something to somebody and that person said something to somebody and that person said something to somebody and it ended up reaching Mike Greenberg's ears. Yes, things happen in that manner also. But let's read on. Recently, fans noticed Justin Fields unfollowed the Chicago Bears Instagram account, leading them to believe the quarterback is on his way out of Chicago. He later explained to the 33rd team that the reason for his unfollow was strictly to declutter. Wait, let me get this stupid ass pop-up out the way. To declutter his timeline as he was nearing a vacation and wanted football to be the last thing on his mind. Fields explained he didn't just unfollow the Bears, but also the NFL social media too. So this portion is similar to the previous article that I showed you. But ESPN analyst Mike Greenberg doesn't see that move as a simple unfollow. That's exactly what I'm saying. Because of the generation that he's from. Looking at his generation as a whole, the athletes around his age, even a little bit older, that's part of the same generation, they do the same shit. When they mentally check out, as far as the team that they currently play for, and they have it in their mind, or at least in the back of their mind, like, yo, I'm about to be out, I'm about to get traded, I'm about to sign somewhere else, I'm not coming back to this team. One of the first things they do is unfollow and scrub any traces of their current team on social media. This is what their generation does. So I'm with Greenberg, and his opinion because I have the same opinion. He didn't just do it for nothing. That's just my opinion. And apparently, it's Mike Greenberg's opinion also. He believes Fields knows what's next. Justin is well aware he is out of Chicago. Another thing. Mike Greenberg has ties to Chicago. He went to Northwestern. I think his wife is from Northwestern. They have family and friends from that either they're from Illinois or a lot of them still live in Illinois. So they have ties to Illinois and they travel in certain circles and they hear certain things. So in my personal opinion, I'm guessing even though Mike Greenberg not directly coming out and saying it, I think this information has been floated in front of his nose and he got a little whiff of it. And this is where this air quotes, quote unquote, opinion is coming from. But I'm just guessing at this point. Greenberg said on ESPN's Get Up, they're trading him. He's beginning the process of moving on. The best thing the Bears can do for him is to get him out of there as quickly as possible so he can begin the process of proving them wrong wherever he goes next. Mikey Greenberg. Michael Greenberg. I don't know if it was you directly, but I seem to remember the very same things being said about Mitchell Trubisky, of which does not have a current team in the NFL. Supposedly, once he got out of Chicago or once he was traded, he would break through and he would be able to actualize his true talent. He would be able to reach his ceiling once he got away from Chicago because it was all on the Bears organization. It was their fault. None of the responsibility was Mitch's. And now it seems like you guys are reading the same playbook when it comes to Justin. None of the responsibility is his fault. It's everybody else's fault. If everything is not perfect for Justin, then it's the fault of the people whose job it is to make the surroundings of Justin Fields perfect. Mikey, you know as well as everybody else knows, there is no perfect situation when it comes to the quarterback position. There is no perfect team. Patrick Mahomes, the reigning MVP and a reigning best quarterback in the league right now, even his team isn't perfect. He had wide receivers dropping the ball all year long. And he still willed his team to the Super Bowl. None of his receivers are name brand receivers. None of his receivers scare you when it comes to being a defensive coordinator, grafting out a plan to go up against the Kansas City Chiefs. You're not scared of any of his receivers. Yeah, he has Travis Kelce, of whom will be in the Hall of Fame, but he doesn't strike fear in you. You know he's going to get his money. He's going to do what he do. But as far as the receivers go, you're not scared of none of them. You're scared of Patrick Mahomes. He is the problem. He is the kryptonite to your Superman. So for you to say and mimic the same talking points that people were saying about Mitchell fucking Trubisky is driving me insane. And anybody else who actually listens to you, let alone take you seriously. And you look at Mitch. So I guess the fact that he currently doesn't have a team, I guess that is also Mike Tomlin's fault. Mike Tomlin is to blame then, right? because Mitch couldn't do the job there either. That's Mike Tomlin's fault. So let's say Justin Fields gets traded to Pittsburgh and he fizzles out there too. Is that Mike Tomlin's fault too? Is that still the Bears' fault too? Or I know what all of you out of town stupid people would say. Well, the Bears ruined him. They were the first ones to get their hands on him, and now he won't be any good anywhere. Just like Mitch, right? Ironically, just like Mitch, Justin still can't read defenses. But we can't blame him, nah. No, we can't blame him. It has to be somebody else's fault. It doesn't fit the narrative if we blame Justin. You guys are pathetic. The best thing the Bears can do is distance themselves from Justin and find themselves a real quarterback for once. For once in my lifetime of 49 years, seeing a real quarterback, a real franchise quarterback for the Bears would be amazing. And it don't matter how many of these Chicago Bears podcasts want to kiss Justin's ass up and down the field from 50-yard line to goal line and back. It doesn't change the fact that he's not a good quarterback. And he's not going to go somewhere else and miraculously all of a sudden he's one of the top 3 quarterbacks in the league. Real life don't work like that. Sorry to break it to you, but it does not. No one has ever unfollowed the Chicago Bears because they're tired of the talk on their timeline. Unfollowing someone gives you plausible deniability. You get to make the statement, and then you get to pretend you didn't do anything. Now that I do agree with, especially with this generation. So I'm going to leave a link to this article in the description box down below. You guys let me know your opinion on this whole mess that is the quarterback situation in the offseason for the Bears. I know for sure what my vote is. Draft Caleb Williams, trade Justin Fields. Keep it simple, pimple. That being said, subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button, share this video, and make donations. All donations will be greatly appreciated. You can send them through Cash App, $ Cobra Clutch 357. That being said, I'm out.